The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. Yeah!
Hi, welcome to the Pool Guy Podcast Show. It's been a while since I talked about the benefits of being a pool service professional and some of the things I like about the pool service industry. I also go over some cons, of course, because I want to be honest with you, and that way you can weigh the pros and cons of entering the pool service industry, either as an employee or as an owner of a pool service company. Pool Service Pro, open a Leslie's wholesale account today and receive wholesale pricing on products you use every day. Leslie's Pool Supply offers convenient locations that are open 7 days a week. Another great benefit of opening a Leslie's wholesale account is Leslie's referral program. Get referred to a customer looking for weekly pool service. Also receive priority service, enhanced rebate programs, a discount on your general liability insurance through SPA, a discount on your pool routing software through Skimmer, and an opportunity to co-brand with Leslie's on your social media, website, truck, and more. Save time and money and grow your pool service route and become a Leslie's Pro. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm talking about this today. One is I was recently talking to my HVAC guy. He came over to fix my air conditioner. And funny, the air conditioners are pretty similar to what we deal in the pool industry. There's really not much to the systems. You have the fan motor, then you have a capacitor, and then you just have the condenser. And that's about all there is inside that air conditioner. Of course, it's connected to the furnace, and there's a lot of different details that go with that. But as far as the unit itself, it's pretty simple to work on. And I probably could have changed the fan motor myself, but then I'm crossing lanes and I don't want to do that. But he had all the equipment to check the capacitor and do all the testing of the condenser, things like that, which I don't have. So I deferred to him. But we're talking about the industry he's in and the fact that there's not a lot of people entering that industry and that there's a lot of money that they make in that industry, of course, with repairing the air conditioner and the furnaces and swamp coolers, whole house fans and things of that nature. So it seems to be a really good industry. And of course, if you're in areas like the high desert or Arizona, you'd probably never run out of business all year round. So I think just like the pool service industry, there's not a lot of people going into that industry because he mentioned the fact that most of the guys doing the service are his age, which are my age. Basically, we're in our early 50s. I'm actually just 50 myself. And I think one of those things is that you just can't get people to understand that these businesses like HVAC, plumbing, pool service do offer a lot of opportunity and they're easy to get into and they cost, of course, the pool industry I'm speaking of in particular, costs very little to start up a pool service company. Basically, all you need is a truck, equipment, and some basic ideas or basic training of what to do out there. And I am working on a video training series that I'll probably be releasing sometime at the beginning of next year. And that's the second thing that kind of brought this to the forefront because in the first episode of this training series, I go over the benefits of pool service and I'll highlight them here for you so that you're kind of up to date here. Basically, the number one benefit I think is that the pool service industry, particularly owning a pool service company where you do weekly service, repairs, things of that nature, is how scalable this business is. And there are very few scalable businesses out there that don't take a lot of effort to be successful at. As an example, real estate or being a real estate agent is highly scalable. However, you have to really know what you're doing and how to sell property and kind of know the ins and outs. And then you're working on commission. So if the market's in a stagnated time period like right now where it's really slow, I would say other scalable businesses are also similar sales oriented like car salesmen and you have furniture salesmen. Those jobs require a lot of hours, weekends, and a lot of effort on your part to scale those up. Whereas pool service is scalable in a whole nother area. One thing that we have an advantage over the plumber, electrician, HVAC is that when you call one of these services, you're calling them for a one-time service. There's something wrong with your air conditioner or your toilet's clogged up, something of that nature. Whereas the weekly pool service is something that you're getting paid every week to do on a monthly basis. You're getting paid for those service weeks and the money's coming in on a regular basis. If you had 100 service accounts and you're charging $150 a month, that means that you're bringing in $15,000 a month. And that doesn't change based on, if you basically with a real estate agent, it doesn't change on the market or if the commission's coming in. You're getting paid that every month because that's what you do. You do weekly pool service and you bill monthly for that. and this is how you make your money. And when I say scalable, you can actually do pool service just one day a week. Let's say you had 12 accounts and you have a full-time job. You can do it part-time, which is maybe 20 hours a week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and have another job still with other income. You can do it full-time, which is Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. You could bring on an employee and expand and have twice the amount of pools, bring on a third employee, fourth employee. So you can scale this business up as big as you want and keep it as small as you want. And that's what I mean by scalable. It doesn't take a lot of effort to do this either. You're not out there hustling. You're not working the weekends. You're not working late into the night. One of the members of my group sold cars for many years, and he hated that profession after a while because he'd work every weekend. He'd be working till 10 o'clock at night. And the money was good, yes, but he's making more money now with his pool route than he made selling cars, and he's home every day by 3 o'clock, and he's not working Saturday and Sunday. So there is that benefit. And the second one would be the good hours that's offered by doing pool service. I mean, logically, you can only do pool service during the daylight hours, so you're not going to be working into the nights. And generally, you're not working on the weekends, maybe on Saturday to do some repairs and other work. But if you're doing your route correctly and not overdoing it, you're not working Saturday. So you're doing a Monday through Friday or a Monday through Thursday job, and you're getting home at a decent hour. You set the amount of work you're going to do because it's your business. So if you wanted to do 12 pools a day and be home by 1 o'clock, you can do that. If you want to work Monday through Thursday and leave Friday for repairs or just take Fridays off, you can do that also. Because again, it's very scalable. And it's one of those things where if you add a pool on, you're adding more income. I'll use that example of the $150 a month account. And let's say you have 50 accounts, which is about $7,500 gross every month. And let's say you added just 2 pools to that. So now you're doing 52 pools a week, and you've added $300 a month to your income, or $3,600 a year to your income. And I did a podcast episode where I broke things down. And if you want to do it this way, it makes it much more clear how this could really benefit you, especially if you're budgeting things. But those 2 extra pools, let's say you just took them on because you wanted to have those 2 pools cover all of your expenses for vehicles and insurance and also gas and fuel. And so you brought these 2 accounts on to pay for all of that. And so you're basically driving your truck. Of course, your truck's paid off because you're not getting a payment on there. You're buying your truck and having a debt-free business. So this $3,600 a year will cover your gas, repairs, whatever you've done on your vehicle. And you just added these 2 accounts to cover that. And so basically you're driving around on your route for free because these 2 accounts pay for everything. And if you break it down like that, you can see how scalable this business is. And from 50 pools, let's say you're going to go to 60 pools. So now you've taken your income from $7,500 to $9,000 a month. And let's say those 10 pools you added on, those 10 extra pools, you're going to allocate that money for something else besides the money going into your business or paying for expenses. That's $18,000 a year. Let's say you wanted to invest that money in something or put it aside to build up money for a down payment on a house or purchase of a rental property. So in 5 years, that $18,000 will turn into $90,000. That's just doing 10 extra pools above the 50 pools that you normally do. And over that 5-year period, you're making an extra $90,000, which you can use to buy an investment property, or, if the market ever rebounds, you can start buying some mutual funds, things of that nature. Or you can just put that money towards a Tesla, whatever you want to do with that money. But you can see the scalability of this business. You can also take on extra work. That's not including, in my estimation, the extra money you would be making from acid washes, green pool cleanups, repairs, installs, and the like. And so, of course, that money, besides the weekly service, is going to add to your income. And you can do more repairs to get more money. You can do less repairs and do more pool service, weekly pool service accounts. You can focus on green pool cleanups or acid washes to make some extra money every month. However you want to do it, you can scale that business. You can work as much as you want or as little as you want. So if you're near retirement age, you want a side job that's going to keep you busy but not overwhelm you, pool service is perfect for that. If you're a student, you want a job that's going to get you through college, pool service is perfect for that. It's just perfect for just about anyone who wants that flexible schedule and wants to be able to work hours that aren't going to be a burden to them, and they're still going to have time to spend with their family, their friends, and just doing any hobbies or whatever you want to do with your extra time, you're able to do that with the pool service business. So unlike my HVAC friend who does air conditioner repairs, where that's kind of only limited to basically repairs and installs, the weekly pool service is something that's really going to have income that's steady. Unlike real estate, where it's kind of fluctuating, also, you can rely on this income and you can feel comfortable and secure with this kind of income. And again, you can scale it to the next level by bringing on an employee or 2 employees and then doubling or tripling the amount of pools on your route, and just keep going and making it larger, as large as you want to make the business, or keep it as small as you want. Now let's talk a little bit about another benefit that I think is a good benefit sometimes during the year, and one of the cons of doing pool service, and that's the weather. Sometimes the weather is just perfect. You have mild weather. In my area, I think about 3 or 4 months out of the year, I can say that the weather is truly pleasant. You're in the 70s. It's not bad out there. We hardly get any rain here, so the rain's not a big factor. Some areas like Florida and Texas, where it rains a lot, is one of the factors you have to consider. It does get hot in the summer here, and it does get windy, so those are all things that you have to deal with. But if you're in an office job and you're thinking of going to the pool service profession, I suggest trying it first. If you're going to buy a pool route and put down $100,000, you may not like working outside. You should try it first. Maybe spend all day out in your backyard and see how you like that, or at least 5 or 6 hours out in your backyard, or just ride with someone who does pool service and see if you like that profession. I like being outside. I personally love being outside. So for me, it's really a no-brainer. I like being out in nature, being out there. I can deal with the heat. I can deal with the rain. I'm not a big fan of the wind, but what can I do about that? You got to have the right equipment like a vacuum system, and it's not such a bad thing. So the weather is, a pro or con depending on if you like being outside. Now the job is physical, which I think is a pro because it keeps you in shape. I mean, if you're at the desk all day sitting there or doing a job where you're not really doing any physical exercise, pool service is definitely very physical. I think I calculated the amount of steps I take and like the rowing motion, because we do a lot of skimming. And so that's like a rowing machine. And I think I calculated I burn like 4,000 calories a day when I'm out there really working it. And that's one of those things where you stay in really good physical shape if you eat correctly, of course, on the other side of the coin there. Not just about physical exercise, but if you're eating, 10,000 calories a day, you're not going to stay in shape by any means. But if you're eating healthy and you're out there physically working, you're going to feel a lot better. And I think the physical work is something that really helps stimulate your brain and make you just a more well-rounded person. And it keeps you healthy. I mean, very few gardeners and pool service professionals get sick because we have a lot of vitamin E. We're getting a lot of vitamin E from the sun. Of course, you want to take precautions and wear sunscreen, and also limit your exposure to direct sunlight by wearing a hat and things like that. I wear long sleeve pants and I wear long sleeve shirts out there. So I limit my sun exposure the best I can, but I think working outside is definitely a benefit in my book. Here's one that can be a positive or negative depending on how you look at it. If you're an employee and you're working for a pool company and they do have benefits like health insurance, that's something that I would consider. But for the pool service owner, you don't have any health insurance. Unfortunately, there's no plan where you can get on, so you have to find your own health insurance. So to me, that's a bit of a con because health insurance is pretty expensive in California. So, of course, research that and see how much you're going to be paying for health insurance. If you leave a company that's paying for your health insurance, note that you're going to have your own health insurance, and that's going to be an added expense. So calculate that in there. But if you're scaling your business up and you use my little example of adding 1 or 2 pools on to pay for your health insurance, you can do it that way and kind of justify that. And if you're working for a pool service company where they have benefits, definitely health insurance would be a great benefit if they offer that. Another really nice benefit also is that you're going to have at least 4 weeks off every year. You should plan it to where you have 4 weeks off, 2 weeks probably not in succession, but 2 solid weeks, 1 week for vacation, the other week for Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, and then you have 2 more weeks to play with. And the reason for this is that when you bill your customers for the weekly service monthly, and I'm looking at the calendar right now for September, and there's 5 Thursdays and 5 Fridays, and you're only billing for 4. And so you're going to take those extra days that fall in that month and you're going to put them in your pocket, and you're going to use those for those 4 weeks of vacation. Either you're going to take weeks off straight or take a day off here and there. You don't want to take 2 weeks off in a row, of course. That's really unsustainable in this industry. But the way the calendar works in our favor is that there's going to be extra days for the service that you're not billing them for. And those extra days will be your vacation days. And so you're guaranteed days off in this industry. If you're doing car sales, you're working the weekends. If you're doing real estate, you're just kind of hustling and meeting clients on the weekends or late at night. And this is not going to happen in the pool service industry. You're going to be working normal hours or as normal as you want to make them. And you're not going to be burdened by these kind of strange hours late at night, weekends, and things like that. So you have a lot more freedom with your time, and you're going to have some dedicated time off if you're billing monthly and you're using those extra days in that fashion. And like any business, the actual pool route has value. I know it's kind of hard to grasp the concept, but you can actually sell your route, even though it's not a physical business, and that's worth some money. Usually in the industry, we sell a pool for about 10 times the monthly gross. So if you had a route of 100 pools and you sold it for 10 times the amount, that means that that pool route is worth $100,000. You can sell it for even more. So if you wanted to get 12 times each pool, you can get $120,000. So the route does have value, and you can sell your whole route, part of your route if you're expanding and you're moving to one area to another and you're building up in one area, you can sell a part of the other one. So there is a monetary value to owning a pool route. Beyond the income that it generates, you have the value of the asset of having that pool route. And the startup cost for a pool service business is relatively inexpensive. If you're not going to purchase a pool route, but you're going to build slowly, you basically just need a truck, your equipment, and chemicals, and then you can get started there with some basic knowledge of how to operate the business. And it's one of those things where if you have the right personality, if you're the kind of person that can talk to people and get accounts and build up your business, you don't have to be, strictly a salesperson background or someone who's extroverted. But if you have certain characteristics where people trust you and respect you, and you're building that respect and trust with the service you provide, you can build your business up pretty rapidly, especially since there's like 11 million pools here, across the United States. And there isn't a lot of people doing this or getting into this industry. The same with HVAC and plumbing and electricians. There's going to be a big shortage in the future. And I think the same goes for the pool service industry. If you wanted to get a job in the industry, you can find one just pretty much readily available anywhere around the country. Pool service companies are hiring like crazy. And if you wanted to start your own business, there's plenty of opportunities to start that. And there's plenty of pools and service accounts in most areas that aren't like super highly competitive. My area, I can't even give a pool away to somebody because they're so booked up. They don't want to take any more accounts, or they're really picky about the accounts I'm trying to pass on to them. And that's kind of the nature of a lot of areas where there are basically more pools than there are pool service professionals servicing that area. I had a friend who called me, lives nearby. I don't really want to do pools of friends, so I wanted to pass it on to somebody. But she contacted me after calling 8 different companies, and all of them said they couldn't take her pool. And I finally found somebody who would take it for her. But that's kind of the nature of the industry right now. I'm not going to say how it's going to look after the recession, but I don't think our industry is going to be impacted greatly by it. We're kind of insulated from things like that because nobody really wants to do their own pool. It takes a lot of time and effort. If you could pay someone to do it, people would like to pay people to do their pool for them. And last, it's also a trade that you can transfer from state to state. There's been several people in my group that have moved from one state to another, some from the West Coast to the East Coast, vice versa. And it's something that you could take that skill. There's some slight differences from one coast to the other, but a pool is basically a pool, and pool service is basically pool service. And so if you don't like living in California, you want to move to Texas, you can get up, move over there, and start your business there. If you want to move to California, which I don't know who would want to move to California, but if you want to move to California from another state, you can definitely start up your business here with no problem. And so it's very transferable across the nation. So I think it's a great profession to look at. And if you're interested in getting into the industry, I have a lot of podcasts on the industry, over 960 podcasts and growing. You can find those on my website, swimmingpoollearning.com. On the banner, click on the podcast icon, and that'll take you to a drop-down menu of other podcasts that I've recorded. And if you're interested in my coaching program, you can learn more about that at poolguycoaching.com. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Have a great rest of your week. God bless. Pool Service Pro. Open a Leslie's wholesale account today and receive wholesale pricing on products you use every day. Leslie's Pool Supply offers convenient locations that are open 7 days a week. Another great benefit of opening a Leslie's wholesale account is Leslie's referral program. Get referred to a customer looking for weekly pool service. Save time and money and grow your pool service route and become a Leslie's Pro.